Paul Teutul Sr. from Orange County Choppers is here with the foundation tonight. First of all, thank you for being part of tonight. You're welcome. I'm proud to be here. They were the coolest guys who made custom motorcycles and turned their work into big money on Discovery Channel. But when the TV show ended, the American Chopper stars lost pretty much everything. Bankruptcy papers showed they owed millions of dollars. Family members sued each other like crazy. One son totally vanished after he sued for $250,000. Another son battled addiction, and his dad kicked him out. The huge house you saw on TV got taken by the bank. The whole business fell apart. Today they're living all over the country, and what they're doing now is going to blow your mind. Paul Teutul Sr. He used to shout orders while making awesome bikes, looking like the boss inside Orange County Choppers. Big arms crossed, sunglasses on, super loud voice in the shop. Paul Sr. wasn't just a bike guy. He was a TV star, a big brand, and the picture of tough old school dudes. Fans watched every single episode, cheering when the bikes roared and people lost their temper. But when the cameras weren't there, everything was already breaking. By February 2018, it all crashed. He filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy and quietly said he owed almost $1,708,000 to about 50 different people and companies. His stuff was only worth $1,901,729. But it was actually worse. He made $15,793 a month, but spent $12,612 just to keep going. Almost no money was left. The giant house in Montgomery, New York that fans saw him build on TV got taken by the bank. In 2019, he had to sell it for only $1.5 million. He wanted way more than double that price. The sale even came with his tools and farm animals because he needed every dollar. But money wasn't the only problem. In 2017, his own business partner, Thomas Derbyshire, sued him for fraud. Derbyshire gave $3 million to start a new show, but Paul Sr. spent it all. Court papers showed the truth. He stopped filming for a whole week just to go fishing. He refused to work with people they already hired. He secretly used show money to pay his son Michael's paycheck without telling anyone. He even traded dog food for stuff for his girlfriend's animal rescue and took free things for his shop. Everything was hidden. Every deal was secret. Then more court trouble came. In 2019, a judge said he broke the rules for not paying $17,000 to JTM Motorsports. They fixed his 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. He never paid. He also owed the town of Crawford $151,230.90 in old taxes. Plus, he had $21,300 on credit cards. And it kept going. News came out that he was part of a plan that tricked people from Central America out of $12 to $15 million. It was all about his OC Roadhouse project in Florida. By March 2020, he packed up and left New York. The famous shop was finished. He moved to Clearwater, Florida, and started again with the OC Museum and Roadhouse. The name was still famous. The bikes were still loud. But the good times were over. The money was gone. Trust was gone. He's 76 now and still makes bikes and posts on YouTube, holding the handlebars like nothing ever changed. Paul Teutul Jr. Paul Jr. used to be the main guy of the loud bike empire. He made custom bikes that amazed everyone. His designs were on Discovery Channel. He worked next to his dad, Paul Sr., and together they made Orange County Choppers super famous. But being famous didn't last, and the dream turned into court fights, betrayal, and bankruptcy that almost wiped out everything he made. It started falling apart in 2008 when the show was super popular. Cameras caught Paul Sr. yelling and firing his own son. They had been fighting for years about who was really in charge, but this time it went too far. Paul Sr. fired Jr. right on TV. Just like that, Jr. was gone. No office, no bikes, no team. His name was still on the company, though. He owned 20% of Orange County Choppers. And that's when the real fight began. Sr. didn't want Jr. to own anything. He used a secret rule in their papers to force Jr. out. But instead of paying a fair price for the 20%, Sr. got someone to say it was worth zero. Nothing. The son who helped build the company and designed the famous bikes was told his part was worthless. Jr. fought back. He went to court, and in December 2010, he won. Judges said the deal wasn't fair. They never agreed on how to figure the price. So Paul Jr. kept his part, but the family was already destroyed and the business was a war zone. In 2009, to save the TV deal, they pretended to make peace for a while. But they still hated each other. Trust was dead, so Jr. started fresh. He opened Paul Jr. Designs and moved his shop to Ship Bottom, New Jersey. He didn't have the old team, the old place, or TV money, but he had his talent and his name. Huge companies wanted him. Microsoft, Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz. He built bikes for all of them. People still stopped and stared. But money problems started sneaking up. By March 2018, the numbers showed the truth. Paul Jr. filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. His stuff was worth $1,800, $729, but he owed almost the same, $1,708,893. Plus, he owed $51,308 in taxes. His biggest thing was his house in Montgomery, New York, worth $1.8 million. But even that house couldn't save him. Everything fell slowly, and it hurt. Fame was still there, but the money disappeared. Even now, Paul Jr. still works with bikes. He goes to fancy bike shows. He judges big contests. He still builds bikes, but he's not part of the company he helped make. Orange County Choppers kept going without him. His money today is only about $2 million, way less than it should be. He made bikes famous all over the world. He turned a family garage into a huge brand. And in the end, he lost the shop, the name, and his dad's trust too. He guy who taught him everything. 10 years was all it took to go from TV kings to broke. But he never stopped building. Mikey Teutul. When American Chopper started, people watched for the loud bikes, cool customs, and crazy fights between Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. But there was one guy who made everyone smile in the middle of the mess. Mikey Teutul wasn't building bikes. He wasn't yelling or throwing tools. He told jokes, answered phones, and cleaned the Orange County Chopper's shop. He was the nice, chill guy on a show full of tough stuff. But most people never saw Mikey's real fight wasn't with his family. It was with alcohol. Drinking started small, like it wasn't a big deal. But as the show went on, it got worse. Mikey's drinking didn't just hurt him. It wrecked his whole life. His dad, Paul Sr., built the business from nothing and finally couldn't handle it. This wasn't just a fight. Paul Sr. kicked Mikey out of Orange County Choppers for good. The shop, the show, the family business, everything gone in one hard moment. Fans saw Mikey in fewer episodes. He stopped showing up for builds. He wasn't even in the background. People asked where he went, but it was darker than they thought. Mikey hit rock bottom and checked himself into rehab. It was get better or lose his life. Even after he got clean, problems kept coming. In 2019, a photographer named Scott Gunnels sued Mikey Paul Sr. and Orange County Choppers for using his pictures without permission. Back in 2013, Gunnels took photos of Mikey. Those pictures ended up on the show, on Facebook, and on shirts. T-shirts sold for $19.95, hoodies for $39.99. They even cut the photographer's name off one picture used for Mikey's art show. He never said they could use them. On February 18, 2020, a judge said Gunnels was right. Paul Sr. had to pay $258,484 for using the photos. It was another huge blow for a fam. He already hurt by fights and money trouble. The cash problems never ended. In 2004, Mikey bought a house from his mom, Paula, for $550,000. It was a nice, quiet place in Montgomery, New York. But 5 years later, in 2009, he sold the same house for only $460,000. He lost $90,000. His money that used to be $2 million slowly went down to just $1 million. It wasn't only about cash. It felt like his whole life got smaller. Fame went away. His name wasn't about bikes or jokes anymore. It was about lawsuits, getting clean, and being quiet. But Mikey kept trying. After rehab, after court, after losing the family house, he started putting his life back together. He went back to Orange County Choppers, not as a star, but as assistant general manager. He ran the Facebook page. He helped keep things going. It was a small job, but it was steady. He also started his own company called FarQ Products LLC and sold his own homemade fancy pasta sauces. It wasn't about being on TV anymore. It was about making real things. In Montgomery, he opened an art gallery. He put his own art in it, metal sculptures and paintings that said stuff without yelling. Vinny DiMartino. In August 2007, Vinny DiMartino packed his tools and left Orange County Choppers. He worked there 5 years, making some of the coolest bikes on the show. Fans loved how calm he was, how clean his work looked, and how good he was. But when he quit, Paul Teutul Sr. looked at the camera and said, "Everyone's replaceable. No thank you, no handshake, no respect. Just cold words that hurt Vinny bad. He didn't fight, he just walked out. But he wasn't finished. He teamed up with Cody Connolly, another young builder from OCC. Together they opened V-Force Customs in Rock Tavern, New York. They started fast. Customers came, bikes got made, and the shop did great. In 2010, Vinny was back on TV working with Paul Jr. in American Chopper, Senior versus Junior. He was in 55 of the 65 episodes. For 4 seasons, it looked like everything was finally good. The dream felt real, But the world changed quick. Then the big money crash came. The 2008 financial crisis hurt banks and everything. It killed the custom bike business. By late 2013, nobody wanted custom choppers anymore. People stopped buying. The bike culture that made the shows big just died. It didn't matter how awesome Vinny's bikes were. There were no customers. Losses got huge. V-Force Customs closed. One by one, Vinny sold his machines. Lathes, welders, paint guns, everything gone. He closed the shop quietly. No big goodbye, just doors closing and dreams ending. That same year, Vinny had to change everything. He used what little he had and opened DiMartino Motorsports in Montgomery. This time it wasn't fancy bikes or TV, it was just staying alive. Instead of making dream bikes, he now fixes cars and small trucks for local people. No cameras in the shop, no fans watching, just grease, tools, and real work. Today people guess he has about $1 million. For a guy who was on a huge TV show that feels small, but he built it himself. No tricks, no scripts. Vinny showed the day he walked out in 2007 that he didn't need Paul Sr.'s okay. He didn't need fame to keep going. He just needed to believe in himself and start again. And even when it all crashed, he found a way to move forward. Rick Petco. For 13 years, Rick Petco woke up in Pennsylvania and drove 90 minutes to work. Then every night he drove 90 minutes back home. That's 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, stuck in traffic just to get to the loudest shop on TV. From July 2003 to 2016, Rick did that every day like clockwork. While the Teutul's at Orange County Choppers threw tools, broke stuff, and yelled, Rick quietly built bikes and showed up. Nobody saw it on TV, but the drive was killing his life. He got paid good, though. Every episode he was in, he got an extra $13,000 plus his normal pay. The money added up. When he left, he had a boat at $1.75 million. But all that cash cost him stuff you couldn't see. The shop was crazy, cameras never stopped, fights were real, and Rick spent more time driving than with his wife. In 2012, he got married and everything changed. He saw how much life he was losing on the road, and watching Senior and Junior fight about deadlines and frames, and who was loyal. The show made him famous. It made him rich but not happy. So in 2016, Rick did what most people only talk about. He quit. No more cameras. No more big episode checks. No more long drive into yelling. Rick took his tools and went home. Not just Pennsylvania, but really close to family. His new job was only minutes away. He started working at Pocono Mountain Harley-Davidson in Stroudsburg, where the drive didn't eat his day. He told the local paper the truth. It was fun while it lasted, but it wasn't who I really am. Now he works from his own farmhouse. He started a company called RPD & Co. where he makes custom knives and wedding rings by hand. He goes to bike shows with his wife and kids. He makes stuff again without yelling, without cameras, without drama. Cody Connolly. Cody Connolly was only 14 when he started at Orange County Choppers. It was 2001 and most kids his age were doing homework. But Cody was already welding and learning from the Teutul family on TV. He wasn't just some kid in the back. Fans watched him grow up and become one of the youngest super talented bike builders on the show. In season 1, he even got his own bike project called the Cody Project. It wasn't fake. That bike sold at Daytona Bike Week in 2003. For a while, it looked like Cody had everything. Paul Sr. even paid for him to go to motorcycle school to get better. Everything looked perfect, but it fell apart fast. In October 2007, Cody quit. He was only 20, but he didn't leave quiet. He sued Paul Sr. and Orange County choppers and shocked every fan. The kid everyone cheered for was suing the man who treated him like family. Cody said they kept using his picture on stuff after he left. Posters, coloring books, alls kinds of things, and never paid him. The worst part wasn't money. It was when Paul Sr. gave him keys to a custom bike on camera and said it was his. Cody never got the bike. The keys were just for TV. He asked for $250,000. When people asked why he waited, Cody said he was young and didn't know his rights. The lawsuit went until 2011, then got settled quietly. No big ending, no sorry, just nothing. And then Cody vanished from bikes completely. The world that made him famous, he left behind. He started Revel Ranch Excavation, a company that digs and does demolition in Pine Bush, New York. He works with dirt, septic tanks, clearing land, and drains. Now he's married. He has a daughter. He hardly posts anything online. The kid who welded on TV now digs dirt far from cameras. Jason Pohl. Then Jason Pohl came as the designer in early 2004. Before the show, he just made digital bikes for a pinball game. But Paul Sr. saw his stuff and hired him as the main designer. At first, Jason's ideas were wild and cool. He brought crazy new looks and computer skills, but the internet hated him. People online called him stuck up. Fans said he argued on forums to defend himself. One blog said Jason was the most hated guy on American Chopper, and he probably knew it. His drawings got trashed for not looking like real bikes you could ride. Paul Sr. kept telling him a picture has to turn into a real motorcycle. The worst moment was on the Senior versus Junior show when Senior flipped out on one of Jason's bikes and called it a cake decorator. On camera, Jason cried. He said he put his heart into designs, and having the boss trash them in front of everyone broke him. In the 2011 build-off against Jesse James, Jason helped make a weird tank bike with flamethrowers. It was a disaster. The internet laughed. Real bikers thought it was dumb. People said it looked like a video game, not a bike. That joke never left him. By February 2018, OCC was crashing. Paul Sr. filed bankruptcy. He owed over $66,000 on credit cards and had 8 lawsuits. Jason wasn't on the show much after that. In March 2020, he quit for good. He moved to Florida in 2021 and never came back. Now he works for a company called SolidWorks doing brand stuff. He makes designs far from bike shops and TV. People guess he has about $700,000. No more yelling, no more fire, just computer designs, software, and quiet. Nick Hansford. While everyone else at Orange County Choppers fought on TV and in court, Nick Hansford just built bikes and kept his life normal. He went to motorcycle school in Florida with Christian Welter, and both wanted big things. Nick worked at some shops to learn more, but meeting Paul Sr. at Bike Week in 2000 changed everything. Paul saw Nick was calm and good and hired him as a mechanic and parts guy. 2 years later, in 2002, Nick moved from Florida to New York for family. That move set his whole life. He worked full-time at OCC for 17 years and was on American Chopper shows until 2019. While others yelled and sued and went broke, Nick stayed out of it. He never got famous, but he stayed steady. Today he lives in Virginia with his wife and at least 2 kids, and nobody really knows what he does. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't post. He just left the public world on purpose. Christian Welter. Christian Welter had a chill story too, but different. He was born September 9th, 1978 in New Jersey. He went to the same motorcycle school and roomed with Nick Hansford. That friendship started everything. In 2002, Christian started at OCC in the very first season. He wasn't loud or dramatic. He didn't fight. He just worked hard. As shop boss and main mechanic, he did wiring, putting bikes together, and all the tech stuff so the custom bikes actually worked. While Paul Sr. yelled and Junior walked out, Christian stayed in the back making sure the bikes ran. He stayed away from all the public mess that hit everyone else. When Paul Sr. went bankrupt in 2018, owing over $1,200 a month, Christian wasn't in it. He kept his job and kept things clean. He played drums since he was 12 and took lessons for 7 years. When the shop manager Steve found out they started a band, They practiced in the shop boiler room and even put out an album with 10 songs. Christian said it was rushed and not their best, but they did it. He worked at OCC until 2016, then left quietly. No lawsuits, no news, no drama, just years of good work and a calm goodbye. Daniel Teutul. He was never on the show and never fought like Paul Jr. or got public hate like Paul Sr., but what he did almost destroyed the whole company. Daniel was Paul Sr.'s second oldest son. In 2004, he took over the family's first business, OC Ironworks. It looked like a nice thing, but something bad was going on. In 2007, a bankruptcy guy named Tom Geneva said Daniel and the family took everything good from OC Ironworks, machines, workers, customers, and put it in a new company called Orange County Ironworks LLC without paying fair. The old company went broke. People who were owed money got zero. It wasn't just bad business. They said it was fraud. When it ended in December 2008, Daniel was only 32 and got hit with a giant fine. He had to pay $500,000. Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. only paid $50,000 each. Daniel's fine was 10 times bigger. Back then, most people made about $40,000 a year. This fine wrecked him, but Daniel didn't give up. He didn't cry on TV. He didn't go broke. He went back to work. He fixed the company name and grew it. He started another company called Gabriel Steel. By 2024, he grew his workers from 35 to 69 people. Even crazier, he was the one who actually built the huge Orange County Choppers headquarters that made his brothers famous on TV. He never got any credit. He was never the famous face. But behind everything, he built it for real. While his brothers fought on camera, and lost millions, Daniel turned a $500,000 mess into one of the strongest steel companies in New York.